viewers, welcome to NBTV Global. This is Sanoj Gautam and you are watching Current News Analysis. Today we are going to talk about some national and international issues that's really very important for you to understand. So today we have analyst Parul with us. Parul, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sanoj.
So Parul, first I would like to start with the Indian-Iran relationship, and I would like to talk about CHABAHAR port, where many problems are coming in existence. India is out of the rail project, and how do you see what impact it would have on India?
See, Sanoj, this is not anything new which is happening into the current geopolitical situations, right? There are many kind of tensions which are going among two nations or three nations. As we talk about India, China, India, Iran, India, USA, India, Russia, there are many political areas which are not going very well. So if we talk about India and Iran per se, US has made various sanctions on the Iranian economy, and despite of knowing the fact that India is highly dependent upon the Iran to trade with the West Asian countries, right? West Asia is a landlocked region with the Central Asian countries like Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Afghanistan. So it is of really a very important area to the India. CHABAHAR, where we had to connect the CHABAHAR to the Zahedan province of the Iran, right? And later we had to extend it to the Afghanistan, to the Zaran province, where we can actually reach to the landlocked region of the Afghanistan and Central Asia, which is not in the control of India now.
Parul, I want to ask you something that as in when we look at the international arena, we get to see if India is there, China is there to poke its nose, as we can see when India is out of it. Now, China is leading and China is moving ahead, and China has got the opportunity to, spread its wing in Iran now. So we have to understand this particular thing, that USA is putting many sanctions on Iran. Due to that, we are also out of it, because we are not having good relations with Iran now. We are not importing anything like petroleum and other stuff from Iran. So that's also has, the main important aspect of this particular issue. As we can see that this trio, Pakistan, Iran and China, is now getting closer, and India is going towards the another side. As we can see this scenario, that China is creating problems for India, and if we just look at the same point of thing, India has got just two parts of the port, the rest can go to China. So how do you see what would be the impact of the same for India?
See, Sanuj, there has been news in the past that China has made an agreement with the Iranian government to infuse $400 billion into their economy, right? And China has also extended its wing to Gwadar port, which is hardly 170 kilometers away from the Iranian CHABAHAR port. So it is going to be very skeptical from the Indian point of view that Chinese theory of string of pearl is actually coming into the picture, as they can also make their military base over there. So picture is quite skeptical with the Indian point of view, and India is really taking a setback into the situation. As we know, this is not anything new which is happening, right? India and Iran relations have been halted in past too due to US sanctions and other international geopolitical situations. If we recall the situation in 2016 when Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, visited Iran, and they finalized a deal with Iran. There was a trilateral deal with Iran and Afghanistan regarding this railway project, where CHABAHAR port had to connect with the Zadan province.
So now I want to ask you one thing which is really very important, as the USA has put sanction on Iran, and after that we have also stopped import from Iran regarding the petroleum, and now this thing is happening because of the sanctions. India is unable to put its money into the project, and this is quite dangerous when we talk about the future. So we have also stopped import from Iran. As a result, we are going to face many problems when we look at China, Pakistan and Iran. So now there is also a grouping that is India has to face in terms of these three countries. And what do you think that USA put sanctions on Iran and India has to face the consequences of the same?
Right, Sanoj, as we know about all these sanctions which are put by USA on Iran has something to done with the India in a wrong manner, right? But in 2015, the then External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has said we will only follow the sanctions which are made by United Nations and not unanimously by any of the country. But then we had to follow certain strict trading rules which made our trading with USA somewhat slow. So we had to zero our oil imports from the USA, resulting from that. And now we can see Iran has dropped India from the railway project, and somewhere Iran has finalized a 25 years deal with the Iran, right? And where China is going to invest $400 billion into Iran economy, and in return, Iran will do certain favors by providing cheap oil and cheap natural gas to the China. This is somewhere a setback to Indian economy. And so you are asking basically why US is putting somewhat sanctions on the Iranian economy now and then every time, right? In 2015 we have seen, and again now there is a huge pressure upon the Iranian economy. This is because of world is skeptical about the Iranian nuclear program, nuclear stockpile, whatever they are doing. They are supporting Hezbollah, right? Which US has mentioned as a terrorist organization, and Hamas, right? So this is a kind of certain threat to the mankind. That's why US is putting a certain kind of sanctions over the Iranian economy.
Okay, I would like to ask you one more thing. That is the last thing I want to know about this particular topic. That US is bent on imposing sanctions on Iran. Why is it happening? Why? I mean, there is tension between Iran and USA because India is going on backstep due to this. And in Asia, China is getting more stronger, as we can see the nation around us. If we talk about our neighbors like Nepal, Bhutan, Maldives, everywhere China is expanding itself, and this is how China is working on its policies, their expansion policy and their expansion aggressive theory that they've applied over here.
Right, Sanoj. If you know this thing very clearly, this is not the first time in 2015 that US made certain kind of sanctions over the Iran, right? This thing is coming from the past. Iran is actually building upon their nuclear plants. They are stockpiling their nuclear activities, right? Uranium and plutonium. So we have to see in this picture how it can affect the mankind as whole. It would be a curse to a mankind. They are actually working upon their nuclear test. Like in every 2 to 3 years, they are creating any kind of test. They are doing that. So it is really not good for the mankind as a whole and international scenario. So US is taking this lead in creating these kind of sanctions so that economically we can make Iran a weak economy so that they can actually dismantle these facilities.
What do you say that where will India and Iran relationship go, and what India is going to do now?
See, India should take bilateral decisions, right? This Western Asian countries is a landlocked area and it is very much important. For energy security, it is proven that 2/3 of the oil reserves are still into this area only. So this is how it becomes very important for India, and India cannot take decisions always upon what US is saying. We are not scared of US in any way, right? They are our trading partners. We respect their trade with us, but we cannot follow the unanimously made decisions by the USA. So India should take some kind of clear foreign policy in respect of West Asia as it has made in respect of East Asia. Look, East policy. So we should have a clear-cut policy for West Asia too.
Okay, Parul, thanks for being the part of the show. And I hope that in future we will also talk about some other important issues just like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanoj.
Thanks for watching NBTV. Sanoj Gautam will get back to you once again. Keep watching NBTV Global.